Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be taking a look at a brand new flashlight from Wuben. This is the X4, and let me tell you, Wuben is really hitting it out of the park with their new flashlights. This one is actually one that completely blew me away. I had seen pictures of it, but when Wuben reached out and asked if I'd be interested in checking out, I said yes, go ahead, and then I popped it open, I started using it, and I was really impressed by it. Now, I've repackaged it all back up. Again, I've been using it for a couple of weeks now, but I wanted to give you guys the experience of what it looks like when you first receive it. Here is the box itself. It shows a picture of the light, and let me tell you, the picture on the front of the box and the flashlight in hand is completely deceiving. This light is so much smaller than it looks like in pictures and in the box, but smaller is a really good way of describing this light, but it actually makes sense for it to be smaller because it makes it so much easier to carry. But let me tell you, it has so many features packed into it. It's just such a small form factor. It's really awesome. So it does give you some information right here. It says it's a 1,500 max output, 205 max beam distance, 720 max side light runtime hours. So yes, you do get a light on the side right here, along with a myriad of LEDs in the front right there. Now this is part of their easy carry light because again, it is very light, very small, very easy to carry. On the back, it does give you a rundown of all the light modes and the the lumen output and stuff like that. So if you guys want to check that out, you can go ahead and pause that and check it out. And then right here, it does tell you that it's the X4, and this particular one is the white color. It is available in 3 different colors: black, gray, and white. And let me tell you, one of the best selling points of this flashlight is its price point. It's actually $49.99 on Wuben's site or on Amazon. If you guys are interested, I will leave a referral link below. It helps out the channel. I get a little bit of a kickback if you guys purchase it through that link, so I would appreciate that very much. But again, it's available through their site and also through Amazon, if I believe it's correct. It does give you some information on the side right here as well, and then some more on that side also. So you do have a little tab that you can actually pull up. I actually just cut through there. It makes it easier for me to get in and out because again, I wanted to package it back up so you guys can see what it looks like. So as you open it up, you have this little tab right there which you can use to slide it back out. Again, another little pull tab right there which I slice through, but you can go ahead and remove that if you wanted to. And basically what it does is it opens up. I love their packaging, really awesome. So right on top you do have a instruction manual. Again, with these new flashlights that have so many features and so many options, I always do recommend that you kind of browse through the manual just to get yourself accustomed with it. But I'll go ahead and do my best to kind of show you guys the different outputs and modes and how to get the things on here. So if you guys want to do that, you can go ahead and do that. So we'll set that off to the side. Take a look at the little tab right at the top right here. It's going to get you into your different accessories. So it does tell you what's inside. It tells you that it's got a Type-C charging cable, 1, and then it tells you that it has a lanyard, 1 as well. So as we open this up, let's see if we can get into this without messing it too much. Okay, so it's just on the side right here. All right, we'll take a look at that charging cable and that lanyard. All right, there we go. So the lanyard is a wrist style lanyard. It is Wuben branded, which is really nice. You do have a little thing right here that if you have it around your wrist, it'll allow you to kind of cinch it down. So again, if you're carrying it around at night, maybe you're walking your dog or something like that, if you were to drop it, it's not going to fall on the floor. So you have that, and then you have a USB-C to USB-A charging cable. It's a pretty good length to it. So I do like the fact that they give you a little bit longer cable. Sometimes flashlight companies tend to do like little shorter lengths, but this is really good. So we'll set that off to the side as well. Nothing else on the top there, just on the bottom here you do have a flashlight, and we'll take that off. We'll put that up there, and then it's comes in this little bag right here. Now, you do have a little sticker in the back here that says, please remove the battery insulation sheet before using it. I've actually removed the sheet already. I don't know what I did with it. I did put the sticker back on so you guys can see that, but basically what it means is when you get it, just remove this sticker and then remove the battery, and I'll show you guys how to do that first just so you guys can see how to do that. So on the side right here you have a little tab that says if it's up, it's locked, if it's down, it's unlocked. So I'm going to go ahead and push it down to unlock, and then basically you just press right underneath that and you'll see this little battery cover pop open. There it is. Normally you'd have a little sheet right there that protects that allows the battery not to make contact here, so that when it's in transit and stuff like that, it's not draining. Here is the battery itself, an 18650 battery, so it's going to give you a lot of juice to power up this little flashlight. So as you put it right back in there, you go ahead and close it and then lock it so it doesn't come open inadvertently, and there it is. Now, as you guys can see right there, you also have a little magnet symbol. This is letting you know that the bottom of the flashlight is magnetic. So there it is, sticking out to my knife. So you do have a magnetic base, which is really nice. Now, one drawback I did find is that depending on where you're putting this onto, the flashlight is so long this way that sometimes it tends to like kind of sag like this or slide down a little bit. But just be careful. If you're magnetizing it or putting it on a magnetic surface right like this, where it shines down, that's perfectly fine. But if you want it to shine from the side, just keep an eye on the light and make sure it doesn't start sliding down. Now, because we're on the back right here, I'll go ahead and show you guys that you do have a toggle switch right there, which you do use to activate the light when it's on certain modes. So that is really cool. Now, I really, really like this white color. I think Wuben does really awesome white flashlights. I have a couple more flashlights that are in white from them, and I really think they do really, really cool. A lot of people tend to think that it reminds them of stormtroopers and stuff like that because it's basically black and white. But, you know, for the most part, I think they do a really awesome job. Now, here is a flashlight in my hand, and that's what I was saying. When you take a look at the pictures on the box or the pictures online and stuff like that, you don't get a good gauge for the size of the lights. I love the size of this flashlight. It's not too big where it's going to be heavy and cumbersome, but it's not too small where, you know, you're gonna feel like you might mess it up or something like that. I think this is a good compromise, a good medium compromise on the light itself. Taking a look around the light, first things first, on the front right here, you do have your row of side LEDs right there. Now, there's a couple different color options for the LEDs, and I'll show you guys that as we go. On this side right here, it's just some information on the light. It is telling you how to put the battery in there, so it goes positive and first, and this is where you lock and unlock that. You have a nice pocket clip right here, which is pretty sturdy, and it allows the light to ride fairly deep. I'm not sure if I would always carry this light in a pocket. You can, because it's nice and flat, but in my opinion, this is a light that's better served in like the pocket of a bag or an EDC bag or something like that. I think it'll go very nicely. And then on the other side, you have a couple different things. So you have the model number, Wuben X4. You do have your activation switch right there. You have a scroll wheel right here, which is going to allow you to kind of change the different outputs of the different lights. And then you have this right here, which is basically their key way of kind of cycling through the different outputs and stuff like that. So you have little pictures on the side right here, which will let you know what these arrows that they're pointing at on the pictures. Let me get a little closer there. So here's your pictures on the side, the arrows. Whatever the arrow is pointing is basically what the flashlight is going to be doing. And then this is just it's like a latch that you slide up and down. So you guys can see, maybe you can hear the little clicks. All right. So obviously when you go all the way to the end, it also gives you access to that USB-C charging port right there. Now, this is something else that I wanted to point out. I almost wish that this little switch right here was a little bit more difficult to kind of slide, maybe just a tad. I don't want it too loose, but also this right here, I think it's, you know, it's not loose, but you see how easy that is to push. I almost would want a little bit more resistance from that detent on this, and you guys can see the little areas where the ball bearing from the detent on this go in. That's just my little gripe. I almost wish that it was a little bit more, a little bit harder to slide that. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the light. So in this orientation right here, as you guys can see, it's a little lock, so it's telling you that the light is locked out. It doesn't do anything. I can press this button on the side, nothing happens. The toggle switch in the back, and nothing happens. So as we start getting into the lights, first one is going to be this light right here, and as you can see, it's pointing down, so that's letting me know that it's going to be activating this side light right here. So if I push on that, taking a look at the toggle switch right here, the first thing you do is if you press that toggle switch, you're going to get the full 1500 lumens. All right, that's what's going to happen. It's a momentary on, so basically I have to press it for the light to stay on. All right, if I do anything else, if I press it twice, then I get into the strobe, but again, it's, you know, not constant on. All right, so that's fine. This is if you just need a quick burst of light, 1500 lumens, there you go. That's what you get, all right? So that's using the back switch right there. Now, if you were to press the side switch right here, what's going to happen is that side light is actually going to turn on. And let me face this a little way because it's a little bright. It's actually right now using these warm LEDs, so it's a warm light coming off from the side. And then if you use your scroll wheel right here, If you scroll to one direction, as you can see, it blinked, and that now is at the lowest illumination, or the lowest output. If you scroll the other way, the light starts kind of brightening up, and then once it blinks, it's letting you know that it's at the highest. So that's really cool. It allows you to have different settings. So it's an infinite setting. So if you want to have it like midway like this, you can do that. If you want to have it all the way up, you can do that. So that's really cool that it gives you the ability to have that side light. You can set it up again with a magnet, and it's going to be more of that warm light, that kind of yellowish light. Now, if I were to press and hold on this button right here, it's going to switch to your RGB lights. So right now it is just a single LED right here, and it's blue. But if I start turning the scroll wheel right here, you'll see that it starts going through a couple different modes, or different colors I should say, so that RGB is, now it's red, now it's more yellow, more green, kind of like an amber color, then back to blue, back to violet. So you get quite a few different colors. So that is really cool. So again, it's just a one output on that. You're not going to get multiple outputs like you do on the other LEDs where you can, ramp it up or ramp it down. You're just going to get the one output on there. But that's really cool if you want a couple different light options and stuff like that, then that's what you get. Something I haven't tried is, if you have that side light on and you press the toggle switch, what happens? Nothing. All right, so we learn as we go. All right, so there it is. And then again, if I were to double click it, what's going to happen is it's going to start blinking. And let me see, can I change the color? No, I can't change the color as it's blinking. So let me go back to it normal. Let's change the color to this green, and then double click it again. And now it's going to start blinking in the green. So again, if you wanted to have like a signal light or something like that, you can go ahead and do that. Again, double click it again. It'll take you back to that color. And if you press it, it'll turn off. All right, so that's the second one right there. The light's pointing down, letting you know it's a side light. Now the next one up is going to be light pointing forward, so it's going to be letting you know that you're going to be activating the LEDs in the front. Now, as I did before, first things first, if you press the toggle switch, or the switch in the back right here, all you're going to do is you're going to get that maximum output, 1500 lumens. Double click, it'll give you the strobe. All right, so again, whether you're in the side light or the forward light and you press that toggle or that switch in the back, that's what's going to happen. But now to activate the actual LEDs in the front, press that, and you're going to get the LEDs. Using the scroll wheel right here, this is going to do the same thing. So as you can see, it is kind of dimming the light. Once it gets to the lowest output, it blinks, letting you know that that's the case. And then you can just ramp it back up. As you can see, it's very quickly. And then if you go all the way to the top, once it blinks, it's letting you know that that is the maximum output. So again, this is great because it allows you to have multiple levels of light output. So you're not stuck with having, whatever the company specifies you should have. You have multiple levels there. So if you want to keep it at the highest, you can do that. If you want to keep it at the lowest, you can do that. Or if you want to keep it like kind of right there in the middle, you can do that as well. Let me go ahead and turn the light on real quick so you guys can take a look at the LEDs right here. So you do get 4 LEDs. You get these two, this one, big one in the back right there on the side, 2 smaller ones in the middle, and then this other one in the front right there. So again, really nice output, as you guys can see from the front right there. Very easy to carry if you needed it. If you turn it off, but you just want that full 1500 lumens, then you can use the switch in the back, and that's going to give you the full 1500 lumens. All right, then last but not least is you have that last little switch right there, or it's a little diagram. It's a moon. So if you were to scroll over to the moon, now you're going to activate whatever this does, but it also gives you access to the USB charging port right there. So if you go to the back right here, you press the switch, what's going to happen is you're just going to get like Moonlight mode. Let me take a look at the back right here. I believe it is called, they call it Moon, yeah, which is 5 lumens. All right, but the difference is it's constant on. Instead of momentary on, it's constant on. So as you guys can see, I'm not holding it. There it is, all right? And then I turn it off. If I want to turn it back on, there it is, it's on. Turn it off. Turn it on. On. So you're not going to get double clicks or anything like that with that one. And then if you press the side switch right here, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to turn on the Moonlight mode right there. So with the Moonlight mode, you actually get 285 hours. So that's 85, yeah, 285 hours of runtime, which is really nice. So again, if this is, something that you want to prolong the battery life, you maybe are inside a tent or something like that, you don't need too much light, then this is perfect. You can go ahead and use that and not have to worry about running down the battery too much. And then obviously, once you're done, just slide the little thing all the way down, back to the lock, and now everything is locked out, and nothing is going to turn it on. So this is obviously what you're going to want to do if you have it in your pocket, if you have it in a bag or something like that, so that it doesn't inadvertently turn on, especially if you set it down or something like that. Let's see if I have it in this mode and I set it down. If I have it set it down, you see the light will turn on. So you don't want that. Make sure that it is all locked out. So I think this is a really awesome new showing from Wuben, the X4 model here. Great EDC light. Again, it's nice and flat, which is very different from your typical round flashlights that usually will use an 18650 battery. You're going to get a lot of runtime out of that 18650 battery, especially in the turbo mode. You're going to get, let's see if we can see about, what is that, 3 hours maybe on turbo. So, a lot of runtime. But again, in the Moonlight, you will get 285 hours, which is really nice as well. So it does preserve the battery life. A lot of different features, especially with those side lights. I like the fact that they went with the row of warm LEDs, because sometimes you don't want that harsh white light. Maybe you're not looking to light up too much. You just want an area, and it's late at night. You want it to be a little bit more cool, more calming. So you're using that warm light, and I think that's really cool. And then you get the RGB light. So if you wanted to use that light to maybe you do photography and you want to light up a background or something like that in that particular color, or if you wanted to blink to attract somebody's attention, you do have the ability to use all of those different lights, different colors, so the greens and the blues, and then the red if you wanted to use red light as well, or back to yellow. So again, you do have a lot of different options with this flashlight, which I do enjoy. So in case you guys are interested, please use that referral link below. I'm telling you, the price point is great at $49.99. I think this is a great addition to anybody's EDC. It's a great EDC flashlight. I love the white color, but also it's available in black and gray. They also have a couple of diffusers that you can put onto the top of the light, which allows you to get more of an area light from the front right there. So if you don't want to use the side light to use the area light and you want to use it from the front, you can go ahead and pick those up from that referral link as well, that I will leave in the description below. So there it is, just a quick look at the new Wuben X4 Easy Carry lights, 1500 lumens. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.